Hello, and welcome to the 2020 commencement ceremony for the IIT Institute of Design. My name is Rachel Dean. I am Director, Graduate Admission, and Student Engagement for the Institute of Design, and it is my honor to welcome you to our ceremony celebrating our Fall 2019 and Spring 2020 graduates. These are interesting times, and our students have achieved so much with their resilience and ability to keep going forward and being so strong. They have achieved an incredible feat. So today we celebrate them. You will hear a welcome from our Dean, Dennis Weil, followed by our students' celebratory walk, and ending with a wonderful speech by our student speaker, Prachi Saxena. Thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations to the parents and friends of these graduates, and we hope that you enjoy the program.
Greetings to our graduates and greetings to our families and friends. This is the 78th commencement ceremony that IIT is holding, and the first one that is only happening online. While we miss the extra bustle and excitement that a live audience crowd brings, we welcome the new opportunity to have so many more of the family members and friends of our graduates being able to participate in the celebration of the accomplishments of this year's graduates. You, the class of 2020, are our biggest graduating class in 10 years. While you do not have the best commencement, you are among the best graduating classes. Diverse, communal, impact-focused, and resilient. So we are all here today to celebrate the significant and sometimes Herculean accomplishment of the 41 students that have graduated this year. For you, graduates, today is meant to be both a joyful celebration and at the same time an important rite of passage. Joyful, first, as you look back on what you have accomplished. Professional graduate schools are challenging and hard work, and you have done it. You have stuck with it for 2 to 2.5 years. Joyful, as well as we have created a new community and a set of lifelong friends who will stay with you for the rest of your lives. Leaving this intense community living might make this moment also a little bit bittersweet for you. Important, as in a few minutes, we are granting and awarding you your diplomas, which will mark your entry into the professional practice of design. Professional practices have rules of conduct that recognize the power residing and being wielded by professionals that have unique and in-demand skills. As you leave today as professionals in the field of design, I want you to make the shift from student to master practitioner, and with that shift, take on the responsibility that comes with it. As I mentioned in my personal note to each of you, you got a rite of passage 7 weeks early. Finishing your degree in the middle of a pandemic has provided you first with a stress test to train your resilience to practice design in difficult circumstances. Other kind of circumstances will get many more of those throughout your career. Second, a clear and urgent call to apply your professional skills in design to address this crisis, as many of you have already done in your courses this B session, as well as in volunteering. This call will not just continue, but increase as you transition into practice at this difficult time. As new rules will increase both the need as well as the opportunity for design to help build more responsible, cooperative, and intelligent futures, the key value proposition of what we practice. I want to share with you 3 new rules that are emerging out of the crisis that I found in a collection of predictions from smart macro thinkers on how the coronavirus will change the world permanently, as published in Politico last month. Number 1, the rules we have lived by won't all apply. This one comes by Astra Taylor, who's a filmmaker and author of Democracy May Not Exist, but we'll miss it when it's gone. She says, quote, "This crisis is an unprecedented opportunity to permanently change the rules so that untold millions of people aren't so vulnerable to begin with. This is about building responsible futures." Number 2, new forms of reform will emerge. This comes from Jonathan Rauch, who is a contributing writer at The Atlantic and a senior fellow at the Brookings Institute. He says, quote, "Plagues drive change. People are finding new ways to connect and support each other in adversity. They will become newly conscious of interdependency and community. I can't predict the precise effects, but I'm sure we'll be seeing them for years. This is about building cooperative futures." Number 3, we'll have less individualism. Comes from Eric Klinenberg, a professor of sociology and director of the Institute for Public Knowledge at New York University. He says, quote, "The coronavirus will force us to reconsider who we are and what we value. And in the long run, it could help us rediscover the better version of ourselves. When this ends, we will reorient our politics and make substantial new investments in public goods and public services. This is about building intelligent futures." There is a lot of work to be done, and the world is waiting for you. Get out and help build more responsible, cooperative, intelligent futures, now and the length of your career. And now is the time to meet the class of 2020 as they are awarded their degree, followed by their student speaker.
Hello, my ID family and extended family of parents, friends, pets. For my part today, I thought I would start kind of at the beginning. You see, in my second week at ID, I was cutting foam core for like maybe the third time, and I managed to slice a part of my finger off. Um, and I remember thinking, while Marty was desperately trying to stop the bleeding, what am I doing here? Why did I leave my safe world of writing papers and instead came to do this? Whatever this even is. I've since realized that it is actually a thought that a lot of ID students have at some point in their journey. And so I wish I could go back and tell that girl that, it's okay. It will end, and it ends in me talking to my laptop with a fake background in the middle of a pandemic. And also to buy stocks in Zoom. Definitely buy stocks in Zoom. I don't really need to belabor the point that we live in really strange times. So strange, in fact, that, when I was asked to do this, I looked up virtual speeches, graduation speeches, and realized very quickly that there's a lot of competition in this market. There's Ellen, there's Tom Hanks, even Obama is joining in sort of cheering on 2020 graduates and giving us all some version of what doesn't break us makes us stronger, hashtag we'll survive. And so it made me realize that what I really want to do today is to focus on what makes ID unique. And for me, that's you. In the last 3 years, 2.5, 2, or even 1 year that you have been at ID, you have already touched countless lives and transformed many, many more. Whether it's through projects that you did or workshops or even this community that we have built. Um, we at ID have also been part of some of the most pivotal moments. We were in the downtown campus and we moved to Kaplan, and we've helped put on roots that will stay here for years to come. We also were one of the last batches to be mentored by some of the most decorated faculty, such as Vijay and Anijo and Patrick Whitney. It's not a stretch to say that as ID has transitioned in the last few years, we have lived right along with it and really put an imprint on its DNA, whether that's coming together to ask for more civic design and social innovation connected classes, or in putting up a giant red tent in a white struck building. Um, I know it sometimes can feel like lip service when we're told that we're being resilient and persistent, but we really have adapted for everything that has been thrown at us, and we have thrived. That's not a small feat. It's because of that I feel weird about being the person giving words of wisdom. So I thought instead I would use my newly minted designer status and instead propose some design principles that we can use for crafting our future, maybe. And so actually use the chat to share your own thoughts or to add your own principles. And if there isn't a chat, just think it in your heart or maybe put it on WhatsApp. It would be really cool if this was collaborative, because isn't that what we do? So to start with, number one is focus on function over form. Unless when you're squinting at it and Tomoko's voice in your head tells you it looks like nonsense, in that case, just throw it away. The other one is choose clothing wisely. If you don't know, you might be wearing the same looks for years to come. It's important to put your thought into this. Marty, I'm thinking of you, and I really miss you. Another one that I think is now getting a little closer to some of the things that I've learned at ID, it's challenged the status quo. If there's anything I've learned at ID, it's that things don't need to be the way they are. Whether that's us talking about systematic oppression or systemic oppression, or why the CTA machine is the way that it is. Sometimes those two things can overlap. But I think all of us can take a little bit of, Chris Rudd or Zach Pino as we go out into the world and try to make something. Speaking of making something, another discussion that we've really had is about considering unintended consequences. Sometimes I like to think, what would John Games say? And 500 stories later, I might not have the answer, but I think it is about doing this activity and trying to take a little bit more ownership of the things that we create. And while that's one side of the thing that we do, the other is us being able to champion others. And, we have a lot of privilege in where we stand. There's an inherent tension in being the designer and the community that we're trying to serve. And frankly, I don't think we have landed on an answer of what a blueprint to do this justly and fairly looks like. But I think we'll be okay, as long as we keep talking about it. And I think if we just don't take ourselves so seriously either. I think one of the biggest takeaways that I've had with my batch is this word whimsy. Whimsy for me now has come to be, say, creativity with a twist or silliness with a vision. It lives in the International Food Fest that we've had, the Spirit Weeks, and it truly does live in every idea that we have put out in the world and those that we will continue to do. Thinking about what we're going to put out into the world, I just wanted to do a call to action for throwing away buzzwords. It seems more than ever that we will be working with non-designers, and we'll have to face the challenge of explaining what we do and why to people who are not in this space and who we really want to bring along with us. These could also be our family members who are constantly wondering, what in the world? I would be lying if I said that I was okay with not being with you guys in person and meeting the people who have supported you through your own journey. Thinking about those, I really want to take a minute to shout out my parents who have supported me unconditionally, especially my mom, who's probably had the toughest last 4 years of her life, learning how to walk again after a road traffic accident in India. Mom, your strength is the reason I don't find things too hard. And Dad, your humor is the reason I can stay afloat. Thank you so much for believing in me and being with me through this entire journey. And honestly, just hug your loved ones. And, because I'm not there, hug yourself from my side. I really wish us all the best for our future. And cheers to us. We made it.
Congratulations, class of 2020, and well done, Prachi, on your speech. I would like to take some time to recognize the people who have supported and helped the class of 2020 to reach this point. The faculty, who is the central nervous system of our school and of your learning here. The staff and the alumni, who many of them act as mentors and board members. We are ending this 78th commencement ceremony with their well wishes to you.